Module 4, Proof Editing Symbols. Creative Writing by Marisela Gonzalez. Greetings, you are now viewing Module 4, Proof Editing Symbols. In this module we will discuss the following. Subgoal 4. You will proofread your 400-word short story using 15 formal proof editing symbols. Objective 4.1. You will identify 1 through 5 of the 15 proofreading symbols. Insert a period, insert letter or word, insert a semicolon, capitalize a letter, and make a capital letter lowercase. Objective 4.2. You will identify 6 through 10 of the 15 proofreading symbols. Close up a space, spell out, insert a comma, transpose the position of, and insert a space. Objective 4.3. You will identify 11 through 15 of the 15 proofreading symbols. Insert quotation marks, insert a hyphen, begin a new paragraph, and insert an apostrophe. Objective 4.4. You will read and edit your entire short story, as gauged by the online module and prompted by the instructional training module number 4. Make sure to pay close attention to the special notes icon at the bottom of the screen in efforts to supplement your multimedia training. Objective 4.1. Students will identify 1 through 5 of the 15 proofreading symbols. Insert a period, insert letter or word, insert a semicolon, capitalize the letter, and make a capital letter lowercase. You may pause the video to go ahead and look at these symbols, their meaning, and examples of how the symbols are actually used in a sentence. Go ahead and pause and return when you are ready. And welcome back. The first symbol we're going to learn is insert a period. You have in the center a period, and then the period is circled in, as you can see in the picture on the left-hand side of the screen. Here is a part of a sentence, no time to lose. At the end of lose, a period should have been placed. When you are editing your creative writing, and you see that you are missing a period, make sure to insert a period symbol. Period, and then enclose it with a circle. This will be a systematic way of fixing your errors. Use a period here. This is a declarative sentence. Within that sentence, you are missing a period because it is the final part of the sentence. Make sure you put the insert a period symbol at the end so that you will be able to correct your creative writing paper at the end. Next symbol is insert. As you can see right here, it looks like part of a triangle, except it's missing the bottom part. It means to insert something. The example states as follows. I know it, in fact, everyone knows it. Here you want to insert with the insertion mark after it. Why? Because you want to add a semicolon. So you can use the insert symbol to basically place the semicolon where it needs to go, because the insert just means to insert something. It can be a letter, it could be a word, it could be a semicolon. Insert is a very flexible symbol. Inserting a semicolon, as previously stated, would look like this. You want to make sure that you add the semicolon within the confines of the insertion symbol. I got a cat, her name is Luca. There you see that I got a cat is a sentence that can stand alone. Her name is Luca it could be another sentence if you actually had capitalized the H. No need to capitalize the H, because here you have two sentences that are directly correlated and are speaking of the same topic. And also, I got a cat and her name is Luca are two sentences possibly if you desire to separate them. So therefore, that shows that the rule of the semicolon is valid. And so therefore, when you're editing your work and you come across a sentence that looks like this, you know that you would have to add or insert a semicolon. I got a cat, Her name is Luca. The capitalized symbol. The capitalized symbol is pretty simple to learn. It is simply 3 lines that go beneath the letter that you need capitalized. Capitalize the letter. For example, here in the sample you see, is New York a state or a city? Well, York is capitalized, well the Y is, and then new, the N in new needs to be capitalized as well because it is a specific proper noun that is talking about New York, which is a state, so therefore it needs to be capitalized. The N does, to be correct. Objective 4.2. Students will identify 6 through 10 of the 15 proofreading symbols. Close a space, spell out, insert a comma, transpose position of, and insert a space. My gosh, it seems like a lot, but it's really not. The more that you practice, the better that you will get used to it. Take a moment to reflect on the note below. You must understand that the way that you write is a direct representation of you. Therefore, if your creative writing story has many errors, your writing cannot be taken seriously. The next symbol is close up, or close up the space. Close up space is very important to use when you see that you have one too many spaces between words. So for example, or in this example you have Jordan lost his favorite basketball. You know that basketball should be one word. So therefore you would need to use the symbol for close up space so that way after you're done editing you have basketball together. Making sure that you join words is important. But close up space could also be if you have a sentence and it needs to go all the way to the end of the margin, of course not past the margin, but a little closer to the margin, you would actually put close up space symbol there so that you would know that you need to go a little bit further, almost to the point where you're touching the margin, but not exceeding it. Close up space. The next one is spelling error. If you notice that there is a spelling error, or something is abbreviated that shouldn't be, all you have to do is put SP. You can either put SP above and then right below it, simply write the correct way of writing it so that when you do go back to your writing, it is very systematic and easy to put in the correct spelling after you've double checked in the dictionary or with a proof editing buddy. Spelling error, SP. SP is contained and circled in and closed. Look at the example, 3rd floor. Spelling error. Here, instead of writing 3rd floor, we need to spell it out, 3rd floor. No abbreviation for 3rd floor. Insert a comma. In order to insert a comma, you would need to add the following symbol. Insert a comma. If you're coming with them, comma, please bring napkins. Transpose. Transpose elements. He only picked the ones he liked. He picked only the ones he likes. So therefore, the words are in directions that are improper. He picked only the ones he likes is the proper way of which you need to say the sentence. So therefore, the structure of the sentence is incorrectly placed. Instead of he only picked the one he likes, it should be he picked only the one he likes. And that is more proper. That is how you use transpose symbol. Objective 4.3. Students identify 11 through 15 of the 15 proofreading symbols. Insert quotation marks, insert a hyphen, begin a new paragraph, and insert an apostrophe. Take a moment to look at the note below. Style. Have you used an appropriate tone, formal, informal, persuasive, etc.? Is your use of gendered language, masculine and feminine pronouns like he or she, words like fireman that contain man, and words that some people incorrectly assume apply to only one gender, for example, some people assume nurse must refer to a woman, appropriate? Have you varied the length and structure of your sentences? Do you tend to use the passive voice too often? Does your writing contain a lot of unnecessary phrases like there is, there are, due to the fact, etc.? Do you repeat a strong word, for example, a vivid main verb, unnecessarily? These are things and questions that you should ponder over as a creative writer. Insert quotation marks. The insert quotation marks symbol is very easy. It almost looks like happy faces. Use double quotation marks. Here is an example. My favorite poem is Design. Design is the name of the poem. So therefore, since it is the title of the poem, it needs to be quoted. So here, if I was going to fix it, I would have to put my favorite poem is Design. So therefore, quotations. Especially if you're writing, it's hard to italicize the title, which is also appropriate. So therefore, if you're handwriting it, it would make more sense that instead of italicizing, which is still appropriate, that you should add quotation marks. It would be more easier to point out the title. Move right or move left. Very self-explanatory. If you did not indent and you're at the beginning of your paragraph and you need to have indented, which symbol would you use? To make sure that in your proof editing part of your writing process, you're aware that once you move over to your final product, that you're able to move and indent that first paragraph. Would it be move right or would it be move left? The answer is move right. Begin a new paragraph. The begin a new paragraph symbol looks like this. Here is an example. I knew what I said. I thought so, she replied. Here in creative writing, if we're having dialogue from one person saying something to another, it would make more sense to move the second person's words into its own paragraph or into its own line structure. So therefore, you have a differentiation between the dialogue conversation in creative writing. Delete symbol. Very tall. In this case, I didn't have to say very tall, I just wanted to say tall. So I would just delete very and keep it simple with tall. This is totally up to you, especially when you have redundancy or repeated words that do not need to exist when you're reading. Then you would simply put the proof editing symbol for delete on the word that you would want to get rid of or avoid, so that when you finally move on to your creative writing work, you're at a better point to remove it and to make your writing sound stronger. Here's the example. The elephant's trunk is really its nose. So you would put the delete sign over one of the words that is, and therefore you would have a more appropriate sentence structure. The elephant's trunk is really its nose. Lowercase. The chicken is brown. Chicken is not a proper noun, so chicken is not supposed to be capitalized. The C needs to be lowercase. So in order to make a capital letter lowercase, you have a backslash, and that's what it looks like. Mike and Rita are only friends. R, since when do we capitalize an R in R, and in the middle a letter is not supposed to be capitalized like that? It looks very awkward. The same thing applies for friends. You would need to put the backslash symbol on the R in friends because R is not supposed to be capitalized. Objective 4.4. Students will read and edit their entire short story as gauged by the online module example and prompted by the instructional training module number 4. Take a moment and look at the note below and reflect. Why proofread? It's the content that really matters, right? Content is important, but like it or not, the way a paper looks affects the way others judge it. When you've worked hard to develop and present your ideas, you don't want careless errors distracting your reader from what you have to say. It's worth paying attention to the details that help you make a good impression. And that is the power of proofreading. Now it's time to take a quiz. What proof editing symbol is the following one? Is it A, close up space, or is it B, insert a period? If you chose A, close up space, you are correct. Number 2, what proof editing symbol is the following? Is it A, insert a space, or is it B, insert something? If you chose B, insert something, you are correct. Number 3, what proof editing symbol is the following one? Is it A, insert quotations, or is it B, insert a comma? If you chose A, insert quotations, you are obviously correct. Number 4, what proof editing symbol is the following one? Is it A, start a new paragraph, or is it B, close up space? If you chose A, start a new paragraph, you are correct. Having viewed this lesson module, you learned about 15 proof editing symbols, including insert a period, insert letter or word, insert a semicolon, capitalize a letter, and make a capital letter lowercase, close up a space, spell out, insert a comma, transpose the position of and insert a space, insert quotation marks, insert a hyphen, begin a new paragraph, and insert an apostrophe. Now that you have learned about all of these important proof editing marks, hopefully you will now use them on your writing project. Hope you enjoyed the multimedia lesson modules 1 through 4. It has been a pleasure to be your guide on your wonderful journey to becoming a creative writer. Until next time.